I'm really competitive and want to be in top of races. Absolutely. But for me, it's also very important to have fun along the way, have a good journey.
Welcome to the Low Tide Boys, a swim run podcast. I'm Chip.
I'm Chris, and this is episode 130 of the show. We're headed back to Sweden this week, and we're super stoked to share our conversation with swimrunner extraordinaire Max Andersson. We've been following his exploits for a while, and it was great to get him on the show to chat about his swimrun experience, swimrun journey. You know, good stuff.
But first, training update. Training this week has been interesting, to say the least. The tale of two boys. The tale of two boys. A sicky boy. Chris, sicky boy. His family came, the whole household came down with COVID. Everyone's safe and healthy now, thankfully. Yeah. I had a week of solo
I thought I was going to get away with it. Everyone was sick, but I was still negative. And then, Sunday night just went down like a sack of bricks.
Yeah, every day I would be like, how's everyone doing? How are you doing? And it's like, oh, I'm still good. And then,
not good.
Not good. Like, oh, man.
I mean, it would have been a miracle after basically playing like daddy nurse and husband nurse for a week that I wasn't going to get it, but
it seemed inevitable.
That's cool.
Yeah. But everybody's on the up and up now, so that's great. Just in time, we have Ödyssey Swimrun Casco Bay in just 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Getting ready to see everybody in Portland, Maine. Beautiful Portland, Maine.
Yeah. But you had a great week of training, so that's good because you're going to have to be doing a lot of pulling.
Sounds like
it's going to be like the good old days. Just the way I like it.
The good old days, yeah. Hop on the donkey, and we'll just keep going. So that is the training update for this week. On to this week's shoutouts.
Yeah, so this week we're shouting out Bradley Amery. He recently reached out to us asking us for our preferred cliff jump / dock jump technique, and he's doing his first swim run at Casco Bay, and he heard about the dock jump. So we're here for it. Sent him some videos from when we did Austin last year, when we did our
shakeout.
Little Low Tide Boys shakeout. Yep. So I think he found those helpful. And we're looking forward to meeting him and seeing him at his first swim run, Casco Bay. That's no joke.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you out there, Bradley. Man. And he was tuning into the course preview, long course episode there, and he heard about the dock jump. His ears perked up, and he slid into our DMs there. If you are racing Casco Bay, we have the Couch to Casco episode, which will help you along your short course journey. And then we have our long course addendum episode for 2022 version.
Yeah, and I guess we should probably just say what our technique is, right? Just like
the
buoy between your legs, hold your goggles, and just kind of torpedo in feet first.
Pencil? Is it called a pencil jump still?
I don't know.
You just go off and hold
like
on to your goggles.
Out, but just hold no yard sails. Don't assume their goggles are going to stay on your face.
Yeah, that's true. I've even seen people hold them in their hand as well if you're really worried about it, but just don't let go when you hit the water. Maybe put them around your neck. I don't know. Additionally, I believe there's been some. We've been told to shy away from the sort of handbag technique, which is putting the pull buoy under your shoulder. Somebody said that they heard. This is all third person hearsay, mind you. That when they jumped in, it actually like hurt their shoulder or dislocated their shoulder because the pull buoy's force when it hit the water pushed their shoulder up. I don't know. That sounds like a bad time, so maybe not do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But, hella Newtons, man.
There's
a hella Newtons and
lot of flotation.
Keels.
A lot of buoyancy.
Yeah.
A lot of buoyancy.
A lot of flotation.
Anyway,
that's shout-outs.
That's shout-outs for this week. Now on to this week's feats of endurance. This week's winner is Steve Hahn from the UK. We spotted Steve on Strava rocking an Ödyssey shirt on a nice 10-mile run. Turns out he's flying out for Casco Bay in a few weeks. There's too many swim runs in the UK for him. He had to come stateside.
Yeah.
So we'll see you out there, Steve. Make sure you head on over to Strava, search Low Tide Boys, and join the Strava club that we have here. 430 swim runners or people that are associating themselves with the Low Tide Boys on Strava. Check out what everyone's doing. It's a cool place to be.
Sure is.
Now, on to this week in Swim Run. Chris, what's going on over at the Low Tide Boys news desk? Oh, the theme song, too.
We're keeping it really short this week, and we only have one announcement, and it's near and dear to our hearts. So anyone who's listened to pretty much any of our Gear Talk shows and or played the Gear Talk drinking game knows that I am a huge fan of the Arc Sports VIG suit. I mean, I will tell anyone who will listen how much I love this suit. Well, this week, Arc released a 2022 edition of the VIG wetsuit. The new VIG pushes the envelope even more than the original model. The back pocket is reshaped for extra space. The legs are updated with a new high-end fabric for increased durability. Its cut is also improved. Has a new super stretch and soft collar to improve comfort around the neck. I mean, I already thought this suit was the most amazing piece of swimrun tech out there, and Daniel Sand, Helen Vigmar, and the rest of the team over at Arc Sports just like one-upped it again. So I'm obviously super ridiculously stoked for this suit, and that's all we're talking about in this week in Swim Run because I've been sick and I haven't been doing my usual internet trolling. So that's it for this week. Feel free to reach out and let us know if there's anything you'd like for us to mention on the show.
Yes, now on to Low Tide Boys update. So a few announcements, housekeeping things here. Right off, piggybacking off what Chris mentioned about the VIG suit, we just dropped our newest YouTube video going over the brand new 2022 model of the Arc Corp swimmer wetsuit. And the Arc Corp is Arc's entry-level wetsuit, and they have pretty much redesigned it completely for 2022. And this thing is looking nice. So head on over to our YouTube channel. We actually have over 200 subscribers now. So subscribe, smash that like button over there. Check out the 3-minute video. Chris did some modeling. I did some voiceover work. It's all fun and games. Check it out. It's a good time.
Yeah, and it's a really great suit.
It is a great suit.
I used it 2 weeks ago on our 3+ hour swimmer practice, and after one use, it's much improved on the previous model. The neck is much more comfortable. Honestly, the best praise I can get for it is like I would totally wear this in a race, like no problem. Like if that's all I had, I don't care what swim run it is, world champs, I'd totally wear that suit, no problem.
Yeah, it's a great suit. Great suit there. So, and we're trying to get our hands on all. Arc's been rolling out new wetsuits left and right every other week, it seems like. So we're trying to get our hands on those and make these videos for you to help you make decisions when you're looking to buy your wetsuit. So make sure you're subscribed over on YouTube. Also, we have scheduled our next Patreon Zoom meetup. So this is something new we're doing for all of our Patreons. Every quarter, we're doing a Meet the Low Tide Boys kind of open forum Zoom meetup. This one is on July 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be chatting all about the new Arc sports gear that we've been testing. We're also holding an impromptu Casco Bay race strategy session and other good stuff. We usually just like shooting the shit with everyone that joins and talking. You can grill us questions. We can just talk about whatever, baseball, swim run, whatever. Hang out with us there. And this is only exclusively for Patreon. So make sure if that's something that sounds interesting to you, head on over to the show notes and check out our Patreon page to learn more about how you can support the show for the low cost of only one grande oat milk latte per month. Yeah. There's other goodies too. You get pretty fat discounts on Low Tide Boys merch. So if you're looking to snag a running hat or a T-shirt to look extra sexy this summer, you can do that at a discount. And I don't know, maybe coming up there might be some random freebies that just appear in your mailbox. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
That's true.
But
we've been known to send random stuff.
Random stuff. So let's get into this week's interview with Super Max Andersson, Swimrunner extraordinaire.
Yeah, it was really great to finally catch up with Max. I mean, we started paying attention to him when he won last year's inaugural EX Swimrun Arc Super Sprint race. And we've basically been rooting for him ever since. In this conversation, we talked about his swimrun journey, how he had less than 12 hours notice to race his first Attila Swimrun World Championship in 2019. Crazy story.
That is.
You got to listen to it. It was wild.
And it was like a throwaway for him. He's like, oh, yeah, by the way, Like, oh, I
Yeah,
would
it's
wrote a
like-
book about how interesting.
It's like,
this
can
is.
we ask some more questions about this? Yeah, what it's like to race with the likes of Adriel Young and Hugo Tormento, be trained by the likes of Oscar Olsen, and so much more. Anyway, we love his enthusiasm for the sport and think that you will love this conversation as much as we did.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. It's all. I always love learning about what the Swedes are doing.
Yeah.
Swim run Swedes. And we're going to see Max in September, only a few short months away for ourselves.
I know, dude. I know. It's kind of, I mean, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it in next week's episode. But yeah, it's coming quick.
It's coming up. Well, without any further ado, let's get into it with Max Andersson, Swedish swim runner. Supermax.
I don't think he's approved that nickname, but it's
No.
cool. It's fine.
It's a with affection given by the Supermax.
Always, lots of affection.
Always affection.
All right, well, this has been a long time coming. We've been wanting to have Max Andersson on the show for a while, but it's finally happened. So welcome to the show, Max.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're we've been watching your exploits. You kind of burst on the scene last year, doing a bunch of races, winning the Arc Super Sprint, and teaming up with some really impressive swim runners,
Heavy
of which
hitters.
you hang out with them no problem. But we'd love to hear a little bit about sort of your athletic background and kind of how you got into swim run.
Yeah, cool. Of course. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to find some really good partners to team up with. So that makes it easier when you want to race fast.
Yeah, and how so what got you into the sport? Do you have I'm assuming an endurance background? I know you've done triathlon and stuff, but what drew you to a swim run?
Yeah, actually, I think it was. I think I did my first swimrun race back in 2017, and then I did it with an old friend of mine who is not doing swimrun anymore. But we just we wanted a challenge. Basically, we wanted to try something else. We weren't really into endurance racing at all before that. I mean, I have done some normal road running races and some trail running races and stuff like that, but nothing more, and nothing for performance, just for basically having fun. And yeah, we discovered swimrun. We found a race and was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's sign up and have a common goal together and train together. So I tried it the first time. I think it was in 2017. Yeah, of my first race. And obviously at that time I couldn't really swim at all. I was just waving or paddling with my arms as good as I could, but no freestyle swimming with a good technique at all. But it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it and enjoyed the team moment in the whole thing. And yeah, since then basically I've been hooked on swimrun.
So you caught the bug early on. Did I hear correctly? You couldn't swim a front crawl, or
I mean,
not at the pace now, I would guess.
It was some kind of front crawl, but I've never been swim training in my whole life before. I mean, never been swimming in pool before. Just what you did in school, basically, to be able to, not drown, but no front crawl at all. So
Yeah, anti-drowning training.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very impressive. And then so you've done a ton of Attila races that we've seen, starting all the way. You said 2017 was kind of your first race. You've done Uto a number of times, the World Championship a number of times as well, Malta, Cons, and then all of a sudden 2020 started really sniffing that podium. And once you got a taste, you couldn't get enough, it seems. And you were racing and on the top step, most recently with Hugo Tormento, who we were big fans of course. So you just put out some sort of classified ad, want to swim run, but I can't lead any swims. Is that how it read?
No, I don't know. I mean, I've worked with my swimming skills since 2017, but I do not have the swimming background as some of the other athletes have on the scene at the moment. I mean, Hugo has his swimming background and obviously miles ahead in in terms of hours in the pool compared to everyone else, and also Adriel as well, which I've been racing with a few times. And before that, Rickard Berglund I also raced with. He was also a good swimmer. So yeah, I've been, luckily enough, I've been teaming up with good swimmers. But I put my hours into the pool, of course, since 2017. But yeah, I think that if you have been swimming from early ages in your life, I think you have a little bit of advantage to the rest of us. But I mean, we can just do as good as we can, and the paddles and the pool boy are helping a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of those. Yeah, without the pool buoy, the paddles, it's not pretty. It's not pretty for this side of the Low Tide Boys team. Speaking for myself, now I'm curious. So you start putting all this work in the pool. Did you team up with a coach? Did you just start just having Adriel tell you what to do? Like how did you progress in your swim? Because at this point, I mean, it's pretty world class.
Yeah.
From the results.
Yeah, I think I started, or basically the first year, 2017 and 2018, I just tried myself in the pool a little bit. I went to some kind of drop-in courses or with some coach, but nothing serious back then. But then I think it was in either end of 2018 or beginning of 2019 when I started with proper swimming coaching in Gothenburg in Sweden, where I live. Anna-Karin Lundin, also known as Sim Coaching on Instagram. She's a lot of people in Gothenburg are swimmers and triathletes. She's super good as a sim coach, and yeah, she's taught me a lot in swimming. So I started swim training with her, and also reached out to Oscar Olsson to get help with the training because I wanted to get serious. I mean, I was hooked on swimrun. I loved it, but I didn't have any knowledge of how to train, what to do, how to think. So yeah, those were the two first people in the sport that I really started to talk to and got help from.
Can't go wrong.
If you're going to go
Oscar.
yeah, if you're going to go to two people, I can't think of anyone else. Now Oscar he's an amazing athlete in his own right. Like, I'm curious, kind of like what sort of training did you start doing? Was it super ridiculous, or was it like sort of what you would expect from training? I'm just curious, like what his program looks like.
No shirt. That's the only rule he had. No shirt.
Yeah, no, but obviously he has his philosophy, but of course he adjusted to the athlete that he's training. I mean, I had done training before that. Of course, I've been doing some running and been training for trail running and done a couple of longer trail run marathons and stuff like that. So I wasn't a complete beginner. I had some endurance training background, but no, we started off very like consistency is the main thing to be able to train good every week. And so it was nothing crazy, to be honest. It was good training, consistency on a good level, week after week after week. And I think that's what I'm trying to achieve still. I'm not doing, at least I don't think I'm doing super crazy sessions or super crazy weeks. It's more to keep a high level of all weeks, basically, or not too low in any weeks.
I have a question for you. So one of the things I've been loving about swimrun, especially in Europe, especially the last couple of years, is you have your training group, you have your friends that you race with, but there's been a lot of sort of mixing of partners and a lot of sort of like you've raced with Adriel, you've raced with Hugo. How has that helped you sort of develop as a swim runner? I mean, it seems to me like it has to be you're just gaining so much knowledge from partnering with different athletes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's a really good thing with swimrun that you can team up with different people. This season, the main partner is obviously Hugo. We have decided to do the full season together, and yeah, the Ödyssey World Champs has the big goal. But still, I managed to do at least one race so far with Adriel, and maybe it will be one more this year as well. But before that, I raced with a lot of different people, and I think you can learn a lot from racing with with different kinds of people. Everyone is different racing with, and have their strengths and weaknesses, and you can learn to feel the dynamic. And everyone has like their own tips and tricks and good knowledge that you can absorb and just learn as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome. And so then this year, you and Hugo Tormento, previous guest of the show, who I'm already calling the 2022 Swimrunner of the Year, if the award was being given right now, because he's just won everything, including the Arc Super Sprint. Sorry that he dethroned you. I'm sure that was a tough, conversation to have right after that race. What went into that decision for you guys to be like, hey, let's partner up, let's take on Worlds, let's try to do something? Like, how did that go?
No, but obviously after the last year's World Championship, where Mathieu, his partner, got injured pretty badly, we decided to try a race together, Cannes, the Ödyssey Racing Cannes. Mm-hmm. So we did that race together and just had a really good time together. Things worked out very well, both on the course, but also outside the course, before the race and after the race. And we come along really good, and quickly became good friends. We didn't know each other before that race, basically. We have just chatted on races, but after that weekend, it felt like we quickly became friends. And then when we started to chat during the fall and winter there, and when the recovery for Matt was unsure, I think basically Matt and Hugo took a decision to not race 2022 together, and me and Hugo got opportunity then to be able to decide to do the whole season 2022 together, which is it's super cool. I mean, Hugo is a great swimmer runner and a great person, and we have so much fun together. So I think it's just awesome to race with him.
Yeah, I mean, you've been racing with obviously top tier caliber swim runners. How much of it is for you finding the partner match? It seemed from what I'm hearing, it's like, do you get along with them better? Are you going to have more fun, a better experience? Like, you get along with them and it's easier to communicate during the race? Or do you kind of aim for a little bit more on, are they a better match for you for pace wise on swimming or running, or do you complement each other physically, or a little bit of blend of both?
Yeah, I think probably it's the both. I mean, I'm really competitive. I'm into the swim run now. I'm into the sport to win things at the moment. I'm really competitive and want to be in top of races. Absolutely. But for me, it's also very important to have fun along the way, have a good journey. But like the training, the things leading up to the race and the race weekends, everything around the races. I mean, it's still, we're doing this as a hobby. I mean, even if we are competing at a high level, none of us are professional swim runners that living from swim run. I mean, we all have other jobs by the side, and so I mean, it's important that this is a fun thing for me. It shouldn't only be performance. And I think both Hugo and Adriel and other people that I've been racing with, I mean, they are fun guys to hang out with, also just on the course, but also outside the course, the racing course. So for me, it's important with the whole picture. I'm into this to have fun, basically, and then it's important that the people that I'm racing with is good people, for sure.
I love it. I love
Us
it.
too.
I mean, that's such a healthy, it's such a healthy way to look at it. It's like, yeah, you want to race hard, you want to be competitive, but it doesn't mean that you need to be racing with jerks or have it be something, like you said, there isn't a professional class yet in swim run. I'm sure that's coming down the road, but until then, no one's making a living off of this. You might as well have fun and go to amazing places. I mean, I want to ask you about Isle of Scilly, because I mean, that race just looks amazing. So I'd love to get from you maybe like a little mini race report. Even that whole weekend, I mean, you guys were driving on the wrong side of the road. There was all this thing going on, like, Fanny and Desiree were there too. I'd love to hear from you sort of how that race went for you and what you thought of that course.
Yeah, the Isle of Scilly was amazing. I mean, it's a beautiful place. I've never been there before, but as you said, we were traveling there together with Ödyssey Andersson and Fanny Kuhn. We were racing together for the first time for a couple of years, and me and Hugo then obviously racing together. So just the whole weekend and the whole journey was super fun. And to get there, it's I think Ötila wrote something that it's a pain to get to Ödyssey, but it's also very hard to leave when once you're there. You don't really want to leave either. It's hard to get there, but it's also you want to stay. So, and I can really agree with that. It's an awesome place, but the journey there is long. The travel is long for sure. Even if you're in Europe, it's still you fly, you drive, the ferry, and you cannot get there within 24 hours. You need to have like a layover somewhere, and it takes time. But once you're there, it's beautiful. Someone described it as the cold Caribbean, and I can really agree on that as well. It looks like a cold Caribbean. The water is pretty cold, but it's still white sand beaches, palm trees, and just beautiful. And the course is amazing. The trails, all these green hills, white sand beaches, crystal clear blue water. So it's an amazing place, and I think the thing that impressed me most with the whole event there and the race there is the local community, how they have engaged the whole local community. I mean, obviously it's not that many people living on that island or those islands. It's small places, small villages, but they are so involved in the event. I mean, everyone is helping out, everyone is out cheering. And I've never been on a swimrun race before where you actually have on the starting line, it's people on both sides of the road for a couple of 100 meters just cheering you on when you're starting. And I mean, that was super cool. And everyone, I don't know how many people on the street before the race and the day after the race that just came up and talked and asked about the race and asked about swimrun, because they knew it was happening, and they were just so interested to know more, and very, very engaged, the whole community. So I can really recommend Ödyssey. Hope it will be back on the Ödyssey race calendar next year. I will definitely go there if it is.
Yeah, same here. I think I mean, our bucket list of races is some just ridiculous.
We're gonna have to move to Europe for a half a year. It feels like.
we need a summer in Europe, I think, for a couple months. But I mean that race just looks amazing, and obviously you guys had a great result. You have an amazing win streak going. I guess we should talk of Uta a little bit, because that race was just freezing.
Oh my word.
And we see you on Instagram. You don't have the low tide boys layer of body fat that that insulates us from the cold in some level. I mean, how was that race? I mean, it looked beautiful, but it looked frigid for sure.
Yeah, it was. I mean, last year when they did it, they postponed it 1 month. I think it was due to the pandemic then, so they had to do it 1 month later in the end of June instead of end of May. And last year I did it with Adriel, and we had it was amazing. It was peak summer in Sweden, warm in the water. The Uta is beautiful in the summertime, and the race was just the race was good as well. We won and had amazing time compared to this year. Then still a good race where we performed well, but I mean the circumstances around the race were quite different. Cold water, wind, rain. I think it was like 8-9 degrees in the water Celsius, and then the same in the air. And it was just it was a struggle. I mean, it's struggle from start to finish. And luckily I had Hugo there, who was stronger than me that day, because I was just too cold. I couldn't really. The body stopped working. All the blood, I guess, was collected to the heart and to the core to just keep it warm, and the legs and the arms just stopped working. The muscles didn't really want to cooperate because of the cold. So it was a struggle just to get to the finish line, for sure. But I mean, it's a great place for swimrun, and I love the race courses there. But I prefer to have it in warmer
in the summer.
Yeah.
I think they did say that they're moving it. They already announced that they're moving it. I think.
I've heard it as well. I've heard it as well.
Yeah, that's a little bit the polar bear swim.
Yeah, no, that's it's a little too much. I mean, swim running's already cold business, but you don't need to exacerbate that, I think. Now, I wanted to ask you, one of the things that Chipper and I've been thinking about recently, this isn't our experience because we train together all the time, but Hugo's obviously in France, you're in Gothenburg. How are you guys approaching your training? You have Engadin coming up next. How are you guys just talking about, it's like, hey, do some major hills this week and I'll do the same, or how are you approaching sort of the communication around training when you're obviously not training together all the time?
No, but we are sharing some of our training that we do. I mean, Hugo has his own coach in France, and I have help from a coach here in Sweden now. So we have our own coaches and we're doing our own training. And I think we both are pretty confident that, I know that Hugo is doing everything he can to be the best shape when coming to racing. And I think he's pretty confident that I'm doing the same on my side. And I think that's just a good trust that we have in each other, that we're in this together and we really want to be our best when we are racing. So we are talking some training, but not that specific, like each session, what are you doing? Or it's more of a general talking, trying to learn from each other. I'm trying to see a little bit what he's doing, what type of sessions he's doing, just to see if it's something that I can use in my training. And I think probably he's doing the same. And but obviously when we decided to race together, one thing was the distance between us, that obviously he's living in Paris and I'm living in Gothenburg in Sweden. We cannot really train together, and we mostly see each other on races, on events. But so far it's been working out. I mean, we have come along pretty well, and
it seems to be working fine.
It's working fine. And I mean, we have really liked it together as well. I mean, both outside the course, but also racing together. And I think we have, after each race that we have done, that we have basically evaluate, just have a short chat, sharing our thoughts, what we thought of, how we felt during the race, what we could do different. Like, how do you find it running with the tow line on when we in this part of the section? Should we have done it without the tow rope there, or just like some kind of evaluation afterwards to see what can we do next to the coming events and how can we learn from this race? And I think that's been good. That's been good because then we have pretty quickly discovered what he likes and what I like and how we can fit in together there. So yeah, it's been working out really good.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Chris and I keep trying to stress for people that are new to the sport or looking for a partner, it's like we feel that communication is so key, and it sounds like you all have that nailed down, even though you are miles apart, obviously, and aren't training together on a regular basis. You're only meeting at the races, but having a good bit of communication and kind of also the sort of the retrospective aspect of it after the race. And Chris and I always have kind of a little debrief as well. And we just happen to record ours and put it out for everyone else to listen to. But we do the same thing as you all about, what could we have done here or there, or where can we see improvements there? So yeah, that's really awesome. You've done the Ödyssey twice, Swimrun World Championship. Both very respectable performances, sub 9 hours, around the 8:40 mark. And obviously with Hugo, you two are going to put the gas on. We know that for sure. What have you what are you working on taking from your two experiences, and what is Hugo taking for this year's competition in September? And we're going to be taking notes because this is our first one, so don't mind us.
Yeah, of course. No, but obviously we have set pretty high goals for the World Champs this year. I mean, we want to do our best performance there. We want to be the best shape possible, and I think it's, as you said, it's good experience that we both have done it before. I think Hugo has done it 3 times before, and I have done it 2 times. And I think that's yeah, just to have been out there and doing the whole race and see the course and been out for the amount of hours, or for the volume of hours that it actually is. I think that's good. But yeah, from my side, I've been doing it twice. But the first year I did it, it was basically just I got a text. I wasn't qualified at all for the first one. I have been doing I did some of the qualification races, but I didn't qualify 2019. I didn't have a proper partner then to race with, but I was keen to do the world champs, and I've told that to Michael and Mats that I really wanted to do it, but I do not have a partner. So Michael, so they were like, okay, let's see what will happen. So I think it was the day before the race on Sunday. Or like 7:00 in the morning, Michael texted me like, "Hey, we have Eduard here from Andorra. His partner has been injured during the night, so he need a new partner for the race tomorrow." Can you
the day before?
The day before on Sunday. So the race is on Monday, and I got this text on Sunday morning early. So I. Within 1 hour, I booked a train ticket up to Stockholm and arrived in the lunchtime, so I can catch the bus to the race briefing and stuff. So it was pretty short preparation time for that first time.
Wow!
Yeah. In hindsight,
even get my
do you think that was
in time?
Yeah, like I wonder if that was a good thing, right? Because it's a big day, you know that it's a huge feat of endurance. Like it's almost like, oh, I guess this is happening, so you don't have enough time to almost even get
worried about it,
nervous about it, right?
Oh, exactly, and it was good as well because it was the first time for Eduard as well. He has never done the race before, and we didn't know each other, so we were just like, we can just go in there and have a good day together, and no pressure on performance, just learn, try the course, see how it is, and do our best, basically. We had a really good day together, and it was so much fun. So I'm super happy that I took that chance, or however you can say it.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
What an awesome experience.
Totally. Now, and I'm curious, so from that first year, is there this is totally self-serving to us, so I apologize, but, you show up for that first year. What are sort of the lessons that you took from that first experience that you think would help you sort of the next time you did it? And then obviously this year when you're racing, is there any part of the course where you're like, oh yeah, that was really helpful, that got me through the learning curve, or any specific features of the course that you thought were you're really glad that you got to try first?
No, I mean, I think all parts of the course are special. I mean, I've listened to the course record you did with Oscar, and he knows the course much better than anyone else probably. And I think every part has its own thing. But the thing I mostly that I'm taking from that first year is that if you're just mentally prepared for a long day out, your body probably it will just adjust and be ready to serve you. if you listen to the body and hear the signals, you can. Because I haven't, that was my first really long thing. I haven't done anything that long before 2019, but I was like, okay, we were mentally prepared for a long day, and we just took it in our pace, and I felt good the whole way. I felt super good, and it didn't feel that it was that long. It didn't feel like 9 hours. I was pretty surprised when we get to the finish line that is it already, or 8 hours 40 minutes, or what we finish time was, but I thought it would be the time goes pretty quickly when you're doing swim run, even for a lot of hours, which was a good experience for me.
Well, we hope to feel the same way.
But I thought it would be like, what can you say? I was expecting the hours to be maybe not the finish time to be longer, but like it should feel more in the body and the mind that to be racing for such a long time. But
grueling.
It wasn't that big difference from a 5 hour race, for me at least. And that was a good experience for me because and a good learning, and hopefully that's a positive thing that I maybe I like the long endurance things, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way.
Yeah, everything seems to be pointing in that direction for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So this year you guys have pretty big goals. You're racing Engadin. And are you doing Gothenburg as well, leading as the last tune-up for Worlds, or what's on your race calendar for the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's the plan. It's the plan to do Gothenburg as well, if everything feels good and then the body feels good. We started the season, and the whole idea with the season and the whole plan was to do all the World Series races. But having the world champs as the big goal, and we said that we can, if we feel tired or if the body doesn't feel good, we can definitely skip one of the World Series races to be in shape for the world champs. But so far it's been, we have felt good, both of us, and we like racing, both of us. I mean, that's I enjoyed the journey, I enjoyed training, but I also we train for many months during fall, winter, and spring. So I think during summertime, I really want to enjoy the races as well. So yeah, the plan is to do them all this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Engadin will no doubt be a kick in the pants for you. Straight up, straight down from what we hear.
Yeah, I've actually done it before. I did it. I did it 2018 with my brother. That was
Oh, nice.
Before, it was an old course. I think they have a new course this year. But I mean, the scenery there is just beautiful as well. Same as Silly. It's the surroundings are amazing. So I'm looking forward to get back there again.
Yeah, that's another one that's on our. Well, I mean, I think at this point we need
any swim run is on our
anything
list.
Anything can get on this list. But yeah, Engadin is just, it looks amazing, and one of these years, you know, when we do our summer abroad
or European summer. I'm just going for the cows. I want to see those cows with the bells. Mats was really, really keen on those cows, and I'm also keen on them.
Yeah, but you're literally running just next to them. So it's not a thing they do in the movie. It's actually, the course is right in front of the cows. So
are you gonna? Well, we're peeling back the curtain here, but Chris has a aversion to cows, I guess we'll say.
I'm scared of large animals. I don't care that they're docile. I don't care that they have wonderful bells on them.
But they're hairy too.
I feel like they can step on me and hurt me. So, I just try to give them their space. I respect them so much that I just keep them at a distance.
He keeps me in between the cow. It's the cow, 100%. Chipper, and then Chris. Yep. That's how it goes. If
there's a cow, Chipper's in between.
Yeah, that's good tactics, I guess. But maybe the cows will
well, for him,
go fast. I guess.
I've seen Chris. Yeah, he burnt a match or two trying to get away. One of the cows just got a little curious and kind of headed our way. And I'm like, it's all right. I like trying to talk to the cows, and Chris, I see him. He's just sprinting off up the mountain.
It was like an 18% grade, and I'm just I'm just dying, but I don't care. Anyway, it's good. It's good training. The
cows are not threatened by me because I tell them I'm vegetarian. So then they have no, but they know I'm not the enemy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this interview is descending quickly.
We better wrap it up quick.
So one thing I'd love to ask you is sort of, as you see, you've been doing the sport for a while, you're in the epicenter of it, obviously, where the sport was born. How do you see the sport continuing to develop? I mean, we love what we've been seeing, like people mixing partners and then all showing up for the World Championship and just crushing it. What, in your view, how do you see the sport continuing to grow, and what do you think we can do or other swim runners can do to kind of help keep moving it in the right direction?
Super good and important question, because I think it's now after the pandemic, it's obviously people have maybe started to do other things during the pandemic. So I think we really need to get back people to racing and to do swimrun again. But I think the whole new thing, the EX swimrun that is done in Stockholm, the super sprint or the Arc super sprint, which is at least a new concept in Sweden. I'm not sure how it is in other countries, if they've done that kind of sprint swimrun before. But I think those kind
Not
of
that we know.
no. But I think that concept, I really love it. It's, I mean, short, intense, on a pretty. The course is very, you can basically see the whole course from the arena, and I think it's a good thing for getting people involved and for the audience and being able to doing more live broadcast things. I mean, I love the long endurance races, the Ödyssey ones, but it's not that interesting for other people outside of our sport to watch, maybe, or to follow. But I think this short, intense things, I guess, is a good format more for people to follow, and I think that's an important thing, because we need not just athletes in swimrun; it should also be interesting to follow and watch the sport. So new formats and short races, I think that's a thing that will develop even more, and hopefully will more races come like that. But then I think. Just everyone, we who are doing swimrunner who loves the sport, we just need to try to get new people try it as well. Me and Adriel are together doing a free just a training session later here in July, where we have set a course and just trying to invite people to try it for the first time. Arc is involved as well. We're helping us out there. I think just to be visible and do swimrun for people can see you and talk about it is important. And yeah, obviously, and publicity in media in general, I guess that's the best thing, but it's also probably the hardest thing to reach out and to get that publicity.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think, I agree with you 100%. I think
same.
One of the places where Chipper and I, what we're trying to do with the podcast is really like, hey, there's some really interesting personalities in the sport. The people are really kind but also really amazing. You know, we gush on Desiree all the time and you guys and, you know, Adriel and Oscar and all these folks that are just like super amazing athletes, but they're also really nice people, really approachable. And during the race, probably not the best time to chat with them, but before or after, they'll give you, however, you know, they'll answer whatever question you want. And I think that is such a positive and amazing community. That's the sport. So like, how do we sort of keep sharing that, you know? And I think, and I agree with you that sort of like short course events, making it easier for people. I know Attila does the sprint and the experience distances and things like that, but
which is super
good. We just need more of that.
Yeah. And obviously your podcast is one very important thing to spread the word about swimrun as well, I think. And it's super cool that you're having it and you're doing it. And we need a Swedish podcast for swimrun as well, which we do not have at the moment. We had one or a couple of before. I know. And I think it's just,
it was the first podcast. Was it Swimrun Podden or something?
Podden.
It was Podden.
Something like that.
Yeah. But also, those kind of things.
We have to bring that one back.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone just needs to talk more about the sport in general, and a podcast format is amazing because you can get to know people and get to know personalities within the sport, and you obviously are spreading, making it public and making it available for everyone to listen into. So that's amazing.
We're trying.
Yeah, thanks. we're just doing what we can, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, maybe one final question for you before we let you go here is, what World Championships coming? You guys are going for it. You feeling pretty good about your chances to put in a good performance on that day?
I mean, we will do everything we can to make a good performance, and I think we will try to be in the best shape as possible. We know it will be other very, very strong teams there, and we'll probably see teams racing the world champs that we haven't been able to compete against so far this year, new teams. So I think it will be a tough race for sure. I mean, the world champs will always be tough, and it will be a lot of good teams with a lot of experience showing up there. I mean, compared to other teams in the sport, me and Hugo are still pretty new. So we will see. We will do the best with our experience and do the best with our the things, the experience that we have collected this year, and just try to make a good performance, and hopefully it can be a good result coming out of that. But super hard to tell how we will end up.
For sure, well, you're off to a great start. So this year's been going pretty well for you all, but we're definitely rooting for you, of course.
Yeah, we'll see you at the start line, and then we'll see you 3 to 4 hours after you've.
Well, we'll see the back of your goggles.
It's been super cool to see you in real life, and I hope you will enjoy the time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It's a great weekend.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah. Well, Max, thank you so much for taking the time. You know, it's the evening over there. It's still light because you guys are in the north, and it's probably light all day, all night over there. But thank you so much for taking the time. It was great to finally get to connect, not just on like Instagram and stuff or Strava. So stay healthy, keep up the good work. And man, thanks. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
Yeah. Awesome, Max. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in September.
Yes, we do. Train well. See you there.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a review, since that's the best way to help other people discover the show and the sport of swim run.
Sign up for our newsletter at lowtideboys.com. That's boys with a Z. And check out our meme page at the Low Tide Boys on Instagram. If you have any suggestions for the show or questions for us, send us a DM or an email at lowtideboys@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Riding Easy Records for our show music, and of course our wives for their support and tolerance of all our swim run activities, podcast, and other stuff.
Yeah, other stuff. Way to keep it PG. Finally, you can support our efforts on Patreon. Until next time, get out there and go for a swim.
Go for a run.
Then another swim.
Then another run.
And then another swim.
And then another run.
And then just keep going. Until you're done.
Or maybe can't stop.